Have you ever been to a speech or an event where you found yourself not listening long before the speaker has finished speaking? Or have you ever been that speaker? Perhaps someone invited you to an event to speak. You were well-intentioned, you had a great message to share. However, you just couldn't connect with the audience. And even if you have tremendous amount of knowledge and hands-on experience in the subject, that doesn't guarantee establishing a connection with the audience. It was a US former president, Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." So it happens to a lot of speakers. It happened to me so many times. In fact, one of the most embarrassing moments of my speaking career happened when I was starting out. My friend was an event planner. He gave me a call one day and he said, "Ziad, there's a school event. They want a speaker." So I told him about you. Would you be interested in showing up and speaking to them? And I said, "Absolutely, give me the time and the date." He said, "Show up in that place, that time. You're gonna speak to people around the age of 40. So prepare your materials accordingly." I did so, showed up, walked inside, and to my surprise, the room was full of teens. And I was devastated because of the amount of work I invested to prepare materials for a specific audience. So I gave him a call and I said, "Man, there's not a single person above 20. What's happening?" And he said, "Ziad, why didn't you pay attention? I said 14, man, 14, 1-4. So I rushed back inside and asked the students, or the teachers, parents, faculty, anyone's coming. And they said no, and I delivered a speech that was so boring, even I was bored. But I learned my lesson, and that is to know my audience. So today we're going to look at ways that will help you connect with the audience beyond the words that you say. And we'll start right away with knowing the audience. That's the first big major step. How do we go about that? First, do your research. Today, more than ever before, we've got one click away access from a global library that is the internet. Videos, vlogs, blogs, webinars, seminars, courses, you name it, it's there. If you have an upcoming event, you're going to speak there, visit their website, find out their mission, vision, their history, their story. What problems are they solving for the community? What products and services are they providing? Are there any great causes that they're concerned about? The more information you have, the better you'll be able to know them. That takes me to the next step, which is call the event planner or the sponsor, or set up a meeting with those guys. And you want to prepare questions before showing up, before making the call or showing up to the meeting. The keyword here is questions. So you want to ask them about age range, gender ratio, political orientations, religious backgrounds. My favorite set of questions is, has there ever been an event like this one? Did you ever bring speakers who spoke about the same topic? How well was the reception of that topic? How much does the audience know about that topic? And get creative with it. Come up with a lot of questions, and the more answers you have, the closer you get to knowing the audience. And that takes me to the third step, which is my personal favorite. Arrive early at the event and go there in a spirit of confidence. Start conversations with the audience members. Introduce yourself, tell them that you're going to be speaking, that's your topic. How is this related to you as an audience member? Fish for inspirational and success stories that are related to that topic, because they're all human beings, they have stories. And think about that sense of unity that you'll establish once you mention one of those conversations up on the stage. Also, you familiarize yourself with the logistics, set up your props and visuals. The conversations that you'll have will help you build the relationships before speaking, and those relationships most probably will last long after you leave the speaking engagement. So use that chance to put yourself in their shoes, to see life from their eyes so that you can adjust to meet their interests. And now that you know the audience, you've finished your first major step, which is knowing them. Moving on to the second major step, which is tailor your speech to that specific audience. Here's an analogy for you. Address to a bride is as a speech to an audience. Address to a bride is as a speech to an audience. The bride goes to the tailor and gives him a very specific task. I want this dress to fit me. The better the job of the tailor, the more she feels special, or she feels more comfortable about that dress, and she feels more special on that occasion, because she told him, I want this to fit me. This occasion is special to me, and the dress is special to me. So the better his job, the better she feels about the whole thing. Similarly, in public speaking, the more you tailor your speech, the more you'll be able to send a message to the audience that I've done my work to know you. I care about you. And as an audience member, I respect a speaker who does that. I respect a speaker who considers his presentation a gift to me, not anyone else. And if you're gonna forget everything in this video, don't forget this one thing. The whole point of delivering a speech is to take the audience to a place that they couldn't have been to had they not listened to your speech. Don't expect to successfully do so without tailoring your speech to that specific audience. Now, how do we go about tailoring the speech? A great way to do so is while preparing the speech. Stop after each section and ask yourself two important questions. Is this relevant? Is this relatable? If yes, go for it. If not, how can I make this more relevant? How can I make this more relatable? Here's an example. Let's assume that you're gonna deliver a speech tomorrow. You have two stories, you gotta pick one of them to use in the speech. They both have the same lesson, same moral. However, the first is about the life of Lady Diana, and the second is about the life of Nelson Mandela. Which story will you choose, knowing that 80% of your audience are gonna be people from South Africa? Most certainly you'll choose Nelson Mandela's story simply because it's relevant and relatable. Here's a question that I get a lot in that scenario. What if I do a better job in telling the story of Lady Diana than that of Nelson Mandela? Wouldn't it be better to use Lady Diana's story? And the answer to that question is absolutely no. Here's why. We as speakers should never let what we want to say get in the way of what they want to hear. We should never let what we want to say get in the way of what they want to hear. So here you go. If you want to connect with the audience, if you want to open their minds and touch their hearts, you gotta know them and tailor your speech to that specific audience. If you do so, I guarantee you that your next presentation, you're gonna create an impact such as you never made before. And at the end of the day, you've got only two choices: know them or torture them. So please don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comment section. If you have any ideas about topics that you want me to talk about, or you have any tips and tools that you used before to connect with the audience, share them for collective benefit. And until the next video, have a great week.